Hey, Nato here. Today I'm going to do a new what if. It is going to be what if Luffy was a Saiyan. The only thing I'm going to take away from him is that he won't have a tail, and that, well, since, yes, Saiyan do learn how to control ki by themselves at a certain point in life, he will not be able to do ki blast with it. He will learn to fly, but he won't be able to do Key Blast with it because he is basically too dumb to even think of that. And since you kind of need to visualize what you want to do, basically flying might be the only possible thing for him. So yeah, he has Key, but since he's too dumb to use it, he's only going to fly and has Zenkai boost because yeah, I'm not giving him a tail to go Great Ape. That would just me being, well, trying literally to make him kill all of his friends, which I really don't want. Like, Chopper basically has that transformation before the 2 year time skip. He goes berserk, monster mode, and yeah. So I don't want to give that to Luffy, because it would be even worse. Because 10 times Luffy's strength basically means no one in the Straw Hat can stop him, no matter when you look at it. So yeah, he won't have a tail and he will learn to fly with Ki, but he will not learn to shoot it in Ki Blast or anything like the super attacks. He will learn Haki later, which will basically be the way when using Haki, the Ki he has in his body that allows him to fly is also going to increase the strength that his Haki will have. So observation Haki, conqueror's Haki, and armament Haki will all be boosted by Ki. So, okay, the way it happened for him to be a Saiyan is basically we never knew his mom. We know that his dad is Dragon, Monkey D. Dragon, the son of Garb the Dragon. Luffy is going to be Monkey D. Luffy, like in the original, but instead of his dad being a Saiyan, since that would literally just mean that, oh, I need to make him even stronger in this one, Luffy's dad is a human, the exact same human as he is in the show. The only difference is that his mom is going to be a Saiyan, which does make Luffy a half Saiyan, but still better than nothing. So basically, the start of his life is exactly the same as in the original. All of his training and stuff like that basically happens the same. Just with him becoming stronger from all of that, and his body being able to adapt a lot faster to anything, basically also helps with everything. So basically what happens is that um, at the start of the series, when we see him coming out of the barrel, um, Luffy basically did the same thing for that. The thing that was different is that he was stronger, basically. He didn't learn to fly yet because, well, the only moment he thinks of new things to do is basically when someone or uses that or show him that they can do that. So he's not going to fly for a pretty big amount of time, actually. Since, well, the moment he's going to fly for the first time is probably going the first time someone floats or do something like that. Which, if I remember correctly, is in the Grand Line. So, it's going to be far. So yeah, basically, against Alvida, same thing happens. Finding Kobe, bringing Kobe to the island where Zoro was, stuff like that. Basically, all the first moments up until when he meets Boogie for the first time are pretty much the same because he was basically overpowering everyone at that point. Well, up until that point. So, yeah, Buggy. When they arrive to that island, basically with Nami and Zoro, they know that Luffy's a monster, basically, because he can stretch and he's a lot stronger than most people. He's probably like 3 times the strength he has in the anime. So basically, since he's too dumb for most things and only tries to eat food in that one if he's not fighting against people, he doesn't break the cage. When fighting against well, every when fighting against the guy with the lion, he basically puts the lion down in one punch. Um, Zoro basically did the same fight, since basically the same thing for him. Against Buggy, though, Luffy is able to stretch a lot more, and he's stronger as well, so that's why he's able to stretch better. Since the stronger he is, the stronger his body can stretch, and the stronger the rubber that he's made of is. So basically, we can see it by every time in the series that, well, practically every time, I should say. How can I explain this? At the start of the series, the max he could stretch that we saw was pretty good. I think it was about like 100 or so meter. But later, like way later in the series, like after they met Chopper, well, no, on the island, on Nami's island, basically, which was a lot later, but he still had time to get stronger. Luffy basically stretched his leg almost 150 meter up before smashing it down on Arlong. So he stretched it a lot further, and the further you go in the series, like after the time skip, he can stretch his arm pretty freaking far. Like, once he goes to gear 4, he can basically stretch his arm. If we count every time he turns, I think gear 4 Snake Man, he basically stretched it over a kilometer at some point, I'm pretty sure, because of how much times he stretched it. So the stronger he is, well, the more he can stretch, the tougher his rubber is. So against, yeah, basically this is going to be a part 0 of everything up until the Grand Line, because basically Bucky got hit like 3 times for a certain point, and it did leave a mark on him. In those 3 hits, I'm pretty sure Luffy, 3 times stronger, can basically put him down this time, sending him out the same way afterward. On the island after that with Usopp, basically against the guy of the cat parrot. Basically, since Luffy is 3 times stronger, faster, everything, he can basically kill him literally at that point. Like, he was able to catch up to him while he was moving extremely fast. If he was able to do that normally, that means he is able to catch up to him a lot easier in this one. So beat him up as well is easier. After that island, they basically went and meet Sanji, which there the same thing happened to Zoro. Um, when he fought against the guy that had the armor and said that the only way a pirate can get strong is with weapons, he basically pushed down the guy really easily. Just like at the end, he fell into the water, then Sanji joined him later after everyone lied saying the food was bad. So, yeah, he basically is able to break everyone pretty easily. When they get to Arlong, um, well, Arlong pretty much gets beaten faster than in the original. But let's say that Arlong felt the punches of Luffy, saw that he was a lot stronger than he was thinking, because he, just in the anime, he said that Luffy was stronger than he thought. So, 3 times stronger is basically stronger than that, so he still thinks that. So let's say faster than in the anime, Luffy fell into water, same thing happened to him, up until he was able to get back up, then threw into the house, into Orange Park, then destroying the whole place. So that happens the same. Then you go to the filler arc where they meet the girl that can talk to animal. In that one, basically he's able to eat the sizzle guy pretty easily, since pretty much the only reason he had trouble fighting him was because the guy was able to tank the hits. This time it's pretty much a no shit, he gets beaten. So afterward they go to the island. No. Before that, the filler arc, they go to where Goldie Roger was born and started his pirate career, and where he was executed. Pretty much everything in that place happens exactly the same. since Luffy didn't actually fight anyone who he was able to touch, since the only one he truly fought was Smoker. Alvida came back, got captured, Buggy as well. Then they leave and go to the filler arc on the island, then happened. And then they go to, they go up Reverse, Reverse Mountain. Which after this actually starts finally getting harder a bit for them. So basically, since Luffy was a lot stronger than Zoro, Zoro trained a lot more. So he was getting stronger and faster. Just like for Sanji, and pretty much a Saiyan and Luffy eat actually pretty much the exact same amount, so I'm not going to have to change that. So pretty funny. Actually, I think a Saiyan actually eats less than a Luffy. So yeah. Um yeah, so when meeting Laboon and fighting the other guys from um what was it called? Baroque work. Zoro pretty much took them down faster than in the original. He had gotten the same swords and stuff like that. Um, After a bit, about the same thing happens with Luffy and Zoro fighting. This time Zoro gets pushed down. Um, so after a bit, what happened is basically that in Baroque's work, they took them down and they went their way to do the same thing as in the original with Vivi telling them who um, Crocodile was. Then they go to the island, well, the Jurassic Island, like I like to call it, since it's basically that. Um, so Izuku, yeah, not Izuku. Luffy gets to the well, does the same thing as in the original. This time only being stronger, so not worrying a lot about dinosaurs once again. Same thing happened while meeting the giants. Then against the wax guy, that was a lot different. He was already able to bend the wax, so 3 times stronger, since he didn't actually get that much damage yet. So he didn't get a Zenkai boost. So after a bit, they won the battles there. They left by passing through the giant goldfish, which the two giants killed. Then they go, while they're at sea, they get to meet whatever the Munch Munch fruit user is. All I remember is that he's a king. Just like in the original, he tries to eat Luffy, but he's not able to. Luffy throws him away. Then they go to the island, to Drum Island. Practically the same thing happens. Saiyans being resistant to cold and fire for some reason, but not electricity. Well, Luffy's not affected by electricity anyway. Now, but yeah, he basically is immune to, well, not immune, but resistant to heat and cold. So on Drum Island, he didn't have as much frozen part on him as what he had in the anime. Dr. Karifa and Chopper still help them. Practically everything happens the same up until uh, the guy arrives. Which, when he arrives, he basically just kind of gets killed, pretty much. Well, not killed, but thrown out the same way as in the original, but just easier. Basically, when he transformed, basically just after that, he basically got pushed away by Luffy using his full strength. Let's say the key dropped, so that happened, and Izuku. Uh, why do I keep saying Izuku? Luffy basically grabbed the key without just thinking it was a key. Okay, it might bring me to a treasure. Then Dr. Karifa took it, said the same thing to Nami. Then they left. Then with Chopper, they looked back, saw what Dr. Karifa did to color the snow pink. Then they leave that place and finally go to the sandy island where um, Crocodile stays. While there, Luffy once again meets Ace, which this time, since, well, Luffy's a lot stronger in that Ace trained with him, Ace is also stronger. Um, Basically, they have the same conversation, and basically almost everything happens the same up until they finally meet Caribou, and that the first fight with him happened. The only reason it took that long is because up until Caribou, basically no one was even strong enough to actually make Luffy actually look weak. Well, not that weak, I mean. Some of them were good fights, but most of them were like, oh, he's like 1.5 or, well, 1.4 or 1.5 times stronger than Luffy. So, a Luffy that's 3 times stronger basically means that, yeah, no, they're not really that much stronger than him. Well, literally, he's stronger than them now. So, yeah. Crocodile was literally, without joking, a lot stronger than Luffy. The only reason Crocodile lost was because of the moment Luffy found out that, oh, Water is the way he can be beaten. So in this one, the same thing pretty much happened, with Luffy being beaten down all the way to almost death. His Saiyan body basically making him get a Zenkai boost. Luffy dying, almost dying a second time while being dehydrated. When healing his body, basically doing the same things and boost that makes him stronger, as well as kind of adapt their body to different things. Like with a Zenkai, their body adapts to gravity and to temperatures and a lot of things that happens around them. Basically, he won't get immune to caribou, crocodiles, sand, water sucking abilities, but what he does get instead is just a lot stronger and less need to drink water, basically. Like, he will drink as much, but just his body kind of did. Oh, if he was missing water, let's just make sure he doesn't need to drink that much more. But it doesn't change anything for Luffy. The third time, basically everything happens the same, except with Crocodile losing a lot faster. And so, basically everything like that happening. So after Crocodile was beaten, they left, and this is where I'm going to end it as a part 0. Because after this point, they're going to start fighting people that are a lot stronger than just 3 times stronger than Luffy. So yeah, hope you liked it. Natsu.